What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Today we got a special guest, Aubree Lewis. How you doing, Aubree?
Hey, my friend, I'm good.
It's been too long.
Incredibly too long. What's up with that?
I don't know, but we need to change it. It's good seeing you. I always like kicking these off with what got you inspired to jump into real estate.
Oh my word, that's a great story. So I graduated college, started a job in retail,
Okay.
and started having babies. And I was traveling the state managing for Hobby Lobby, and I had about 53 employees that I managed across the state, and I was always traveling. And I was like, this is for the birds. And yeah, then I had a good friend of mine that I had watched for a long time, and I was like, well, if I can sell this in a retail store, I don't know, maybe I can sell houses. And I just reached out to him, and so that started, and I think I had been talking to him for about a year and a half, and then jumped into real estate. And that's quite the story too, but
Did you jump in head first, or did you like slowly
no.
dabble in it?
So I quit my job, 2-week notice, everything, had no idea, no license, went and registered for a real estate school, and back then it was, because I've been in real estate now almost a decade. So back then it was separated. You actually went and got your first provisional license, and you had a year to finish your Unit 2 or your post-licensing courses. So I didn't even have a license officially for a full year.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it was wild. And when I started, I mean, my husband's a police officer, so we had to make it on his salary.
Yeah.
And I had $3,000 from my vacation pay at Hobby Lobby. And we stretched that for about 9 months.
Oh no.
October of 2016, we couldn't pay our mortgage. Real estate stuff hadn't started up yet. I was 3 months pregnant when I quit my job.
Oh no.
And which I do not recommend doing that. So I started my career in real estate. One, I was pregnant with my second child. Two, I just mentioned my husband's a police officer. He had, we experienced a line of duty death of one of his friends.
Oh no.
And that happened the day that I got into real estate. And he doesn't remember the first 2 years of my career or the first 2 years of our middle daughter's life, just from PTSD and so on and so forth. So it was quite the roller coaster getting into real estate. And I mean, I didn't make a paycheck for 9 months. It was insane.
That's crazy. But look at you now. You know?
I mean, you know what? I tell new realtors all the time, you're going to go at least 6 to 9 months without a paycheck. It's going to be okay. And you're going to cry and gnashing of teeth and everything. You just have to take a deep breath and just go, but I'm here and I'm doing what it's going to take. I just have to hold on.
Is there like a snowball effect after you get that first check? Does it like finally it's like the wheels are turning, or what typically?
Well, so real estate works in 3-month cycles.
Yeah.
So the work that you do today will show up 3 months from now.
Okay.
And so when you, like anything that you accidentally run into in your first 3 to 6 months is like, it's purely that. It is luck. It is an accident. You're doing the work. You're hustling, grinding, everything during that time. But it snowballs. Once you get to about 6 to 9 months, then it's like, hey, okay, I could actually have a paycheck or two here.
Yeah.
And it's pretty normal. Like realtors, the average realtor will close somewhere between like 10 to 12 transactions a year probably.
Okay.
And there's an incredibly high failure rate. But if you can get to your year as a licensed realtor, and then 12 to 18 months, if you make it there, then yeah, like you're gonna make it. As a single agent, you can close like 1 or 2 deals a month.
Yeah.
But then after that, I don't know. I started closing like 2-3 deals a month, and then February of 2017, so about my year mark, I had 7 closings in 1 month.
That's awesome.
And it snowballed, and then I've been pretty consistent ever since. closing anywhere. I average about 5 to 6 closings a month.
That's awesome. Was there ever a moment when you first started out, like I guess 6 or 9 months down the road, where you're like, gosh, I made the right decision. It's finally working?
That didn't happen until I was almost a year to a year and a half in the business. That first little bit of time is, I think for any business owner, you're building, you're having to build systems, and I don't build systems. I'm a salesperson. And thankfully I aligned myself with people that we could leverage. So, I mean, that's one of the things, that's how me and you met. Like you got to look at who you surround yourselves with. And I know where I want to go.
Yeah.
So if I'm not getting there, or if there's something that I want to push through, then I'm going to go find those bigger thinkers and those people who are maybe doing what I want to go do.
Yeah.
So I think that's the most important thing, is to find your circle, find the 5 people that are going to influence you the most. And then don't forget to look at the 5 people that are influencing those people. And it's just, I mean, it's been a rocket ship. It's been amazing.
Who was one of the most inspirational, I guess, helpful people that you kind of mentored under when you first started?
You know what? Like, I kind of say it tongue in cheek a little bit because he's pretty well known in this area. But Haro Setian is just like the brain in that man.
Yeah.
He's very inspiring when it comes to just building business, thinking through things. He's a good friend of mine. And it was really that. It was seeing that and going, well, this person can go and build this. In real estate, let's do it.
Yeah.
And so it's sitting down, somebody who was willing to just open up the books, basically, and be like, well, if this is how you, Aubree, if you want to be successful, follow what other people have done. You've got to know your numbers. You got to know how to do this stuff. So, like, we track things like crazy.
Yeah.
And being able to just look and say, hey, I know this is how many phone calls I got to make. This is how many people I've got to talk to. This is how many appointments I have to go on. I know those conversion ratios, but I know all of that because my very first mentor looked at me and said, you've got to get really good at this, the basics of it. So that's it. Like, he's still one of my very, very good friends.
That's awesome. That's what true leadership is like the law of abundance, like being willing to show somebody the playbook that's even inside of your, demographic area that you serve. That's really cool to hear. Do you think, was it difficult for you to start jumping on phone calls and like cold calls, essentially coming from the retail space?
Well, I mean, I talk to people in person all the time.
Yeah.
And I will say this, like, my first little bit of time in that real estate space was cold calls.
Yeah.
But I needed to make money.
Yeah.
Because when your husband, golly, at the time, I think he made $40,000 a year.
Yeah.
And stepping on Kevlar every day. And I just this is not the life. And so I made myself get in there. And I took my kids with me. Nobody told me when I first got into real estate and started on a team that I didn't have to work. Like, I didn't have to go in the office on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Like, I felt, I was like, I'm going to have to go in the office on Saturdays. I didn't make my contacts number. I didn't talk to enough people. And I remember just sitting there crying, going, what did I do? This isn't a better schedule. But yeah, I did that, but I did move on from it pretty fast. It's a muscle that I know very well.
That necessity kind of overcame any kind of fear you had.
Pretty much.
Real estate can be super high pressure. How do you stay motivated and grounded during all that pressure?
I pray a lot.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, it's I pray a lot, and I talk to Jesus, and I look at my family, and I go, I will have a better life.
Absolutely.
And it is God, family, business. That's it.
And what you realize the further you get into it is like what you once thought was like super important or career ending is generally not the case.
No, not at all.
So you tend to grow a little bit thicker skin as you go into business.
Yeah, you can't hurt my feelings too easily.
Yeah, maybe in the past, right? And I was the same way. Like, inevitably, we're bound to get a 1-star review when we're servicing
Yeah.
2,500, 3,000 moves a year. It's just bound to. We can't make everybody happy. And
Exactly.
but that first one was like, oh my gosh, like I stayed up all night. I'm like, what am I going to do? Nobody's going to use this anymore. And then as we get on, now, wow, we only have like 5 or 6. Like they just became easier, and that was just a good translation piece. What's something most people misunderstand about buying and selling homes?
Don't do it yourself.
Yeah.
And that's a big one. But then also, this is a big transaction. So we were talking about it a little bit earlier, where people sign paperwork without understanding it.
Yep.
People will go, well, here's my family member who just got their license, and I really want to help them out. Or, what's so hard? Why can't you sell my house right now? It's been on the market for 3 months, 6 months, Aubree. Why can't you sell my house? Well, what it really boils down to is the market. There's only 3 things that we can control with a listing or buying a house. It's location, price, and condition. And if we do those things and we do them very, very well, and then we price appropriately the first time, there's none of this, well, let's just try this price. Come on, that was COVID.
Yeah.
We could try a price during COVID. Right now, and buyers see it too, they go, well, that price is too high. I'm like, it's been on the market for 2 months, 3 months, even just 3 weeks. And I'm like, let's take an offer $40,000 below list price. Let's go. Let's get that deal. A little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
Or those sellers who go, well, we really want to make this number. I'm like, but the market says this number. You can't underprice your house. Market will adjust it.
Yeah.
So if you want your house to sell quickly, price it low. The market will bring the price up, and you'll get multiple offers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what people.
That's kind of like the best case scenario to be in too, right? Now, because now you got competing, and you could probably get over what you originally were going to ask.
Yeah.
With better contingencies.
It's a risk. It's the sellers and that's. I work a lot of buyers, but sellers, they get real antsy whenever I say, yeah, your house can sell for $400,000, $500,000, or let's go with like a $500,000 price point. But if you really want it to sell in this market, it has to be priced at $440,000.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
And then they go, that's $60,000.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you'll be all right. Like the price will rise. You'll sell it in a weekend. Everyone will be happy. I do get people later though, if I sell their house really fast, will go, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
Yeah.
We should have listed it higher. Well, I'm like, would you have rather it sat on the market for 3 months?
Yep.
So it's a balancing act.
I love you're talking my language right now because I love risk. Like that's what I thrive off of.
So much fun.
The adrenaline. I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's a little bit of a challenge.
Yes. How do you coach first-time home buyers through the overwhelm? Like buying a house for the first time can be absolutely intimidating. It can be scary. It can be exciting. There's so many emotions. How do you navigate that?
Can't tell you. It's actually just a system.
Okay.
And boil it down. We do it the same every time.
Yep.
First time home buyer. Hey, we set an appointment in our office. I don't actually take anybody out to look at houses until I have had this type of conversation back and forth. And I walk them through the entire process. I tell them how inspections work, what to expect on house prices, how to decide where they're looking, everything. But we talk through everything before we actually start. And then whenever we're actually moving along, then I've already talked about all of it.
Yeah.
And they're not surprised whenever I say, hey, here's your earnest money. It's 1% of the offer price. We've already talked about it. You're buying a $400,000 house. Do you have $4,000 that's ready to go?
Yep.
And they go, yes, we do. And I'm like, yes, let's do it.
You don't have any surprises like, oh, no, I can't do that right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have surprises around inspections either. Like I just talked to my friend Dave Adams yesterday.
Yep.
And I don't have problems with inspections because we go over everything. We don't have problems with appraisals and negotiating those because we go over it. I think the biggest thing I have problems with is people who can't make decisions. And that's something too. Like I I help people make their decisions. And I'm a consultant more than just a realtor. So I am a home buying and selling consultant that goes through and actually like tells them, shows them the best possible way to have the best experience. And then being able to have this really cool thing that they accomplished at the end of it. And I just helped guide them along the way.
That's amazing. And I love how you're so systematic and you just make the process super easy. And we were kind of talking about earlier, before we jumped on the podcast, how you actually will take videos and explain paperwork, because nowadays people are just signing paperwork without even reading them.
It's the scariest thing ever.
But it's such a great resource to have a realtor that will actually just take a quick video, explain what you're signing, and kind of limit your time you have to do to navigate that paperwork.
Very much. So a little bit of two different programs that if for somebody who's listening, I record my computer screen and I'm in a little bubble down in the corner. You can use BombBomb is a great resource for this, or Loom.
Yep.
And those two programs, I realized that I was on the phone explaining contracts for an hour. And I was like, man, I could make this so much faster. And so I do a 5 to 10 minute video of their paperwork, explaining it specific to them. And then I don't have to spend an hour, and I get to submit my offers faster. I get to take more listings, more buyers. It's awesome.
Being efficient with your time is probably what equals success in real estate.
It's one of the things,
Yeah.
and it makes me very happy. I'm definitely a very type A, high D personality.
Yeah.
And but I want to do it to where, like, I don't want somebody to ever come back and say, well, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's liability. I told you, and I've got it recorded as well. So you can't come back and tell me that I didn't explain it to you.
I love that. What's your take on the current market in the upstate?
It's bipolar.
Yeah.
So we are busier right now than we have ever been. I'm having my best year in real estate.
That's amazing.
So
Not everybody's saying that in real estate right now.
I know.
So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Are there any neighborhoods or areas you're especially excited about lately?
Oh my goodness. I'm pretty passionate about the entire upstate.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, though, you really have a heart for Travelers Rest, right?
I do. That's where my husband works. That's where we live.
Yeah.
That's our community.
Yep.
And so I pay attention to it. I love it. I'm a part of it, but I will tell you that I love paying attention to the small towns that are the up and coming. So Fountain Inn is my little spot that I'm watching. They have very much the same vibe of TR.
Yeah.
And in 5 to 10 years, they're going to be right where Travelers Rest is.
Well, it goes out so much further than Fountain Inn, too, because you got Great Court right behind it. You got Lawrence. Like, there's just so much space.
And there's so much coming to that area, too. Just, I don't think people watch it as much because it's so spread out there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I love the entire upstate. There's so many different quirks and fun little things that if you know it's there, like, life is just very full. Absolutely.
And it's funny you said Fountain Inn, because last night I was just surfing the web or whatever, and I saw a Facebook group where somebody was griping about how they're overdeveloping Fountain Inn, which, I don't mind. Like, obviously I love it. Like, please come,
Yeah.
We're a moving company. We'll move you here. But it's just funny to, like, see, like, everybody's so caught up in a growing city. Like, that's what you want. That's good for our economy.
Very much.
Give us your take on that.
Okay, let's go a little hyper-local here on something that just happened here in my Travelers Rest preferred area. So there was this big thing about a hotel that was going to be built on Paris Mountain.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Big deal about it. And this is how like, people got real loud and angry about this hotel. And the developer's like, I can build whatever I want here, but I think the best thing is this hotel. And I mean, it was going to have a spa and shops and restaurants and have a little conference space. Awesome, like a destination. Just on the side of Paris Mountain, not really in a big, it's not going to be like this huge thing on top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Nobody showed up to the council meeting to actually speak in favor of it, but they'll stop and they'll talk to the mayor on the sidewalk and say, I really wanted that hotel. And all the people who were against it showed up. And so whenever we're talking development, we're talking about like things that are coming soon. Our town, like the economy, so on. Travelers Rest is one of the lowest paid city governments in the upstate.
I did not.
I'm very and it's just people who are here going, don't overdevelop our city. We've got traffic too much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, y'all. Like, we've got to bring money in. This is a way to do it. Now he's looking at putting in a whole bunch of townhomes.
Oh, no.
Like, what the heck?
It could have been something that everybody enjoyed, and now it's singular.
Exactly. And now it's going to be even more people.
Oh, no. So you're with Keller Wiilliams Drive.
Yes.
What drew you to Keller Wiilliams?
Well, I've always been with Keller Wiilliams.
Yeah. What drew you there in the beginning?
That's it. It's like I was part of a team that was at Keller Wiilliams, and I love the culture.
Okay.
And I love that if I need something, there's an open book. Somebody's going to share it with me. I don't have to. A lot of real estate people, realtors, are very closed. They're not going to share their secrets.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna tell you their secret to success and how to do this. And some of them get real snarky about it. But Keller Wiilliams isn't like that. Like if you want to be successful, the number one largest team in the country is Keller Wiilliams.
What's one thing you learned from their training and development? Because they're super focused on training and development.
They are, because if I'm going to do something, and I think you probably agree with me. If you're going to do something, you're going to do it to the best of your ability, make it the most excellent thing that you could possibly make it. That's why Keller Wiilliams. Because how do I train? How do I hire correctly? How do I build out my systems? Keller Wiilliams has all of that for me.
That's awesome. What does a great experience mean to you when you're working with a client? Like when a client says they have a great experience, what does that mean to you?
They became part of my family.
Yeah.
Yes. They're my friends. They're my family. You're never getting rid of me now.
Well, you got a big family nowadays.
It's pretty great.
You're very people first. Where does that come from? Does it come from your retail experience? Does it just come from your heart? Like,
I grew up with parents and grandparents that always looked at me and they were like, always treat people with kindness.
yeah.
And there is so much in this world right now that is not kind. And it breaks my heart. It makes me angry whenever I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
Like I don't social media. I don't even scroll as much anymore. I post to it, but to keep content up.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. Life is so much more. And if you're not going to be kind, if I can't show Jesus, if I can't do these things to help somebody have a better life by having some form of impact whenever they cross my stratosphere, then I'm not living my purpose.
That's awesome. What role does community play in your business model?
I'm very focused in on knowing what is happening. And then also knowing that, hey, that you can go here and meet this person, or if you want to be a part of, even just from a business standpoint, I'm going to show you the best way to do something. And doing that, I think that's the overarching theme of everything that I do, is being, pursuing people over profits, is going through and living with integrity, being tenacious about empowering people and making that impact. But golly, if I can't smile and have fun along the way, we're not doing it.
For sure. No, I agree 100%. You have a strong brand presence. You have a really cool YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out, I definitely check it out. You highlight all different kinds of things, from cities to what's happening. I really enjoy checking it out. What's been intentional about how you show up online in person?
You have to be authentic. I kind of feel like that word has been getting overused recently.
Yeah.
Is authenticity and so on. Well, really, you have to be. If I see you online or if I see you on video, you better be the same type of person whenever I meet you for lunch.
Absolutely.
Or I don't know, just That's it. So if I'm not smiling, there's something wrong. If I don't know. I've lived so long and in this business, felt like I've had to be filtered in order to be such a way and to be successful. And it's not worth it. I have boundaries, but oh my word, you will not catch a fake Aubree anywhere.
I love that.
So
That's amazing. Well, I know the answer to this, but we'll ask it. How do you balance personal life and the constant hustle of real estate? And what does balance mean to you? Because balance means something to everybody, right? It's not equally
Balance is a
spitting up your
lie.
time. Balance is more so about intention, I believe.
it is, yes.
So tell me about that.
Yeah, so we chat about this a couple of times, I think. So when I'm home, I try really hard. I leave my computer in my car, leave my work bag there, but in certain seasons it has to come out and I have to hustle. I've got to do the grind. But my family and providing for my family, I've got a pretty big thing that, I have, when I've shared earlier, my start to real estate was rough. My personal life had some really big things happening. My goal is to make it to where my husband feels like he doesn't have to wear Kevlar every day.
Yeah,
That sucks.
it does.
And he doesn't have to now. I tell him about every week, he doesn't have to. And it's cool that we're there.
That's awesome.
But I'm not quite there yet because he's still there.
Yeah.
It's in his blood, and
It's
I
passion.
understand that. It
Yeah.
is. But it's my kids. I've 3 little girls, 11, 8, and 2.
Oh, man.
So we're busy. But being able to show them that a woman is able to be a breadwinner and have a husband that's okay with that, and that we're a team and we do things together, showing them that I run a very strong business, and at the same time, I'm home every night.
That's amazing.
So there's a lot to unpack behind it, but it's always counterbalance. It's always what you say yes to, you're saying no to something. You say no to something to say yes to something, and that's it.
I love that. I got 3 little girls too, and it's very inspirational. I got goosebumps hearing you say that. So that was awesome. What does success look like for you in the Aubree Lewis Group in the next 5 years?
Man, I want to take over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been having a lot of conversations around what that looks like, and it comes down to finding the right people. So currently, I look at it 2 different ways. One way I look at it from a number standpoint, but then I look at it from a feeling standpoint. Okay, in 5 years, I want to be selling somewhere in the realm of 200 to 300 homes a year. That's going to equate to somewhere around 100+ million GCI or volume. Thank you. Then at the same time too, I want everybody who lists a house or goes to buy a house go, I know you're interviewing this person over here, but have you talked to them? They're really good at what they do.
Yeah.
That word of mouth, that reputation, that just being excellent. I think there's a lot lost here in our Greenville upstate area. Everybody kind of titters around. You've got some brokerages that sell a whole lot that act like team, but I want to have that where it's I don't know, Chris. I want someday to be able to sit here and say, yeah, I've sold. Our business has sold 1,000 homes in the year.
That's amazing. You want to be a household name.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in the Greenville MLS, we sell between 14,000 and 15,000 homes a year. I think if I could grow a business that sold 1,000 of those, that's my next.
Yeah, that would be absolutely insane. And you 100% have the capability of doing it.
That's what I hear.
What advice would you give somebody that's considering to get into the real estate business?
You need to have at least 9 months worth of your living expenses saved up.
Yeah.
Don't play with this. I know it looks easy on HGTV and
TikTok.
social medias. Yep. Go dance through some houses.
Yeah.
You'll sell 500. No, don't do that. Save up your money, take the courses, join a team. Don't do it on your own at first. There's too many things that you need to learn. You need to learn a whole new language. Join a team and do what they tell you to do.
That's one of the questions I ask pretty much everybody, and they all say the same answer. How long would you recommend somebody staying under a team for? You know, just until, is it like personal, like until you grab it and understand it, or is it, would you put a timeline on it?
I mean, I can tell you my personal experience.
Yeah.
I stayed on that team for 2.5 years.
Okay.
And I was willing to stay on that team and grow. Stay on that team until you outgrow their world.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Is if you outgrow their world, in my experience, I needed a showing assistant immediately. I needed somebody to help me because I was selling 40 plus houses on the team, and the team told me no. And so I went and I started my own.
That's awesome. We're going to do a couple rapid fire questions. This is fun.
Fast answers.
Dream home, lake house, beach cottage, or city?
Lake house.
Lake house. Favorite local coffee or lunch spot to visit between showings?
Oh my goodness, that's so hard.
You got to pick one.
I will stop at the Treehouse Cafe in Travelers Rest.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Most memorable showing experience?
Oh no, I walked in on somebody in the shower.
Oh no.
That one, or the one that I walked in and all the walls were painted black and there were pentagrams all over the basement.
What?
It was so scary.
Did you walk back out, or did you go through it?
I ran. Like, we walked through and I was like, okay, the walls are painted black. But then we walked in the basement. I was like, peace out, y'all. I am done.
Yeah. If you want a real estate agent to help you with this one, you're on your own. Find somebody else.
Yep.
Awesome. If somebody's looking to interview the Aubree Lewis Group, where do they find you?
You can go to theaubreelewisgroup.com.
Yep.
You can also just Google my name, Aubree with 2 E's,
Yep.
Aubree Lewis, or Google Greenville, South Carolina. You'll find our YouTube channel, and then it'll actually take you to our website. There's a QR code. You should also, if somebody is looking for me, I have a live show that happens every Thursday night on our YouTube channel where I answer questions live and we talk about all things Greenville, Spartanburg, etc. And it's a lot of fun, but that's a place you can actually get me in person every week.
Do you know off the top of your head how many videos you have on YouTube?
I think we just crossed 200.
That's insane. So if you are looking for information on the Greenville greater upstate area, that's the place to go.
It's the best.
It is. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure.
Very much. Thank you for inviting me.
Awesome.